What's good with it, Black Goose TV family, man? Double salute as always. It's your boy Fluenceboxing back in the building. Literally again, I'm back in the building. We on a different type of vibe. You feel me? If y'all don't know, y'all probably wouldn't know because it was only like for 5 minutes. But I was thinking about going live and watching Emancipation, the Will Smith movie, because I was like, man, I gotta finish that. You know what I'm saying? Y'all want to do a Fluence movie. You know what I'm saying? Hence the vibe. You know what I'm saying? That's why the vibe like that. But you know what I'm saying? As soon as I started the movie, I was like, nah, I want to talk boxing. So that's the reason why we have another late night stream. But I'm not even tripping because you already know, man, it's Thursday. Technically, it's about to be Friday. So that's a good time. We got the weekend coming up. So I ain't really worried about sleep, man. I got in my workout. I'm feeling good. I'm going to follow it up tomorrow. So as long as we taking care of business, that's all that matters. But even with that being said, I don't plan for this stream to be too long. I just want to come in. I just want to say a few words on a couple of topics that I definitely been, I feel like I haven't talked about enough personally. So it's going to be a little bit more organized tonight. You know what I'm saying? I got the articles in place. I'm not saying we're going to go like crazy into the articles, but a lot of the topics that I'm going to be talking about, as you guys can see below in the title, are going to be coming, directly from these articles that, I wanted to read. I wanted to, talk about and then, ultimately give you guys my personal opinion on it. Also, with that being said, I just want to say salute once again to everybody up out there. I appreciate the family for real, man. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep growing. Let's keep showing. By the way, y'all keep going crazy in the comment section. Like, man, I love the different opinions. Please, nobody ever be overly sensitive about what anybody is saying. You know what I'm saying? Let everybody have freedom of speech. Let everybody say what they want to say in the comments. Don't get sensitive. Just let, you know what I'm saying? Talk your shit. I'm 110% with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, so salute to all y'all up out there. Now, with that being said, before we get into all the topics, you know what I'm saying? Let's go ahead and get this out of the way. Hit the like button down below. Right next to it, subscribe if you're not part of the family, notification gang, all that good stuff. But we chilling tonight, man. We on a cooler vibe. We on a, you know what I'm saying, a much more calm vibe than usual, man. Like I said, I was finna watch Emancipation. You know what I'm saying? I was finish it for the most part. But as soon as I was like 2 minutes in, I was like, man, I want to talk boxing. That's what I want to do. Ain't no way I can't talk boxing. So here we are, still with the, you know what I'm saying, the low level vibes, but I love it. We still going, you know what I'm saying, have a good time nonetheless. So salute to the people, man. And once again, happy Thursday, as always. But one of the first topics that me personally that I wanted to get in tonight, as you guys can see down below, is obviously the subject of Devin Haney and Lomachenko. And I don't want to necessarily go in like this crazy order, right? You know what I'm saying? I want to kind of let everything flow and everything come out, you know what I'm saying, the way it should come. But for the most part, there's a lot of different topics that we're going to be touching on tonight. You know what I'm saying? That I want to, go into to an extent. And that needs to be talked about. That needs to be addressed, in my personal opinion. Obviously, one of the main points right now, in my personal opinion, that should be talked about, that people should be discussing, Lomachenko avoiding Haney, it seems, is Jermell Charlo being disrespected, possibly. And what I thought was the most surprising news of the day, Bob Arum saying Regis Prograis will beat Teofimo. That was the craziest news in my personal opinion. That was one of those articles that I didn't expect to actually, you know what I'm saying, turn on and see. So we got a lot of things we're going to discuss tonight. Make sure y'all, you know what I'm saying, hop in, show some love, hit the comment section. I don't know how long we're going to be live tonight once again, man, but we're going to have a good time at the end of the day. You feel me? All right. And salute once again, man. I hope everybody had a good time, man. I hope everybody enjoyed their day, man. It's Thursday and it's amazing, man. I'm not even finna lie to you. It's Thursday. I'm feeling good. It's almost Friday. It's almost the weekend. That's all I've been waiting for. That's all I've been hoping for. And why is that? Because your boy's birthday is coming up. I know I talked about it a lot. I know I've been discussing it a lot. I know I've just been constantly on repeat when it comes. But it's coming, man. And I'm taking every day. I'm taking every day precious, man, because I'm getting older, man. I'm not as young as I used to be. So I need to appreciate the time I have and be able to take it all in. You know what I'm saying? So salute to that. But anyways, with that being said, let's go ahead and get into this first topic, man. I'm gonna stop styling. My bad. All right. Will Lomachenko avoid Haney? That's a very big question. We've had Devin Haney come out. He said some very interesting words. He said some very interesting things. When it comes to Lomachenko, when it comes to Bob Arum, when it comes to Top Rank, he doesn't seem to be the happiest right now being with or affiliated with Bob Arum or Top Rank. It's very interesting because, Devin Haney was gifted, or he was given the initial fight as well as the rematch with George Kambosos. Obviously, he didn't want the rematch. The rematch clause was put in place because, that's what George Kambosos obviously mandatory is going to have because he was the champ. There's always a rematch clause with the champ, in case you didn't know. But even with that being said, Bob Arum delivered on that particular promise that he made to Devin Haney if he would have came over and signed with him. Now it almost seems as if Devin Haney is alluding to or hinting at the possibility that Bob Arum is making it difficult for Devin Haney to be able to get a chance at what some people would say is Bob Arum's golden boy. I'm not talking about Oscar De La Hoya's promotion. And I think that's very interesting. Now, how true is it? We don't know. All we can do is take the information given to us. All we can do is listen to whatever boxer is saying what they're saying. And then we just got to put together our own, conclusion to the entire story. Obviously, people's conclusion is going to be different because it's going to be biased. It's going to be based off whether you like the fighter or which fighter you do like, or if you care about the promotion. It just, obviously there's so many different, places you can put yourself as a boxing fan depending on what you pay attention to. So obviously that's going to come off a perspective, opinionated, all that good stuff. But still, all you have is the information that's shown. And so if all you have is the information that's shown, that's the only way you can come up with a theory at the very least to say, okay, this is the case. Now, I'm going to start off with a statement coming from my guy, Devin Haney. Now, this was interesting to me. This is coming from Boxing Scene. Haney is concerned with Ramadan at odds with Top Rank over Lomachenko fight date. Right? And Haney has, in an interview, he specifically said, I think Loma declined to fight me at a certain date. What's going on? I truly believe that. But the thing is it true? So we saw Usyk, he was granted, allowance to be able to leave his country of Ukraine, come over to the States, train. I'm sorry, not to the States. I think it was the UK. Went over to the UK, was be able to train and be able to not only fight. No, I think he went to the States as well. I think he's training in the States and he went over to the UK. But he was granted access to be able to do that. Got ready for the fight. Fought Joshua, took the belts, defended the belts for a second time, and he was allowed to do that. Obviously, situations are different. Loma has fought recently. We're acting as if Loma has not recently fought. He has fought recently. That is a fact. Right? Some people would say he didn't look the greatest. Some people would say, hey, man, it's been a while. He took some time off. So, at some point, this fight has to be made because from a lot of us on the outside looking in, at least from my perspective, my knowledge, he signed a 3-fight deal with Bob Arum and Top Rank. And we were all under the impression that it was going to be George Kambosos twice, obviously, because of the rematch clause, and then Lomachenko. So there's no signs that's saying it's not Lomachenko. I think the signs are pointing to the fact that, okay, there's something going on where there's a reason behind it being delayed to a point where we don't have a date yet. I feel like we should have a date because it has to happen next year. It wouldn't make any sense for it not to. And I would say early next year, maybe summer. I think summer would kind of be pushing it off a little bit too far. Because I'm like, that's like Haney fought Haney fought more recently. So I'm like, they might be trying to look for another fight for Loma real quick before he fights Haney. I don't know. They can't do that. I don't know, man. All right, Boxing Scene said, Devin Haney would ideally want to fight the toughest opponent of his career before the start of the Ramadan holiday. The undisputed lightweight champion and practicing Muslim is headed toward a showdown with former lightweight kingpin and 3-division titleist Vasily Lomachenko next spring. But there is apparently some friction between Haney and the promoter of their event, Top Rank. In a series of incest tweets on Monday night, Haney said he's made it clear to Top Rank that he wants the fight with Ukrainian southpaw to take place in March, so that it does not conflict with the Ramadan and month-long period of observance in the Islamic calendar that consists of a prayer and, most crucially in Haney's case, fasting, fighting before Ramadan, which takes place March 22nd and ends in April 21st, would obviously benefit Haney. Now, before I continue and before I make that into a long, I'm just reading the article off. It seems like this fight is going to happen, right? There's no question in doubt. We're going to have Lomachenko. We're going to have Haney. That fight has to happen. That was in the contract. That's what was agreed. But the date seems interesting. Does it benefit Lomachenko for the fight? Like, I would think Lomachenko's team would also be asking for it to be in March. Like, why would you want to take so much time off in between to fight a young gun in Haney? Unless you're going to try and schedule the fight while during Ramadan, and that wouldn't make any sense. There would be so much criticism when it comes to that. That would be crazy. So, in my personal opinion, I'm very interested to see where this heads toward. And this isn't the most updated article too. Like, I have a more updated article, but this is the most, at least coming from Haney, other than what he's been doing, as far as, talking to the media, etc. That's what we got from. But Haney, 24, indicated that despite making his preference known to Top Rank, the promotional company is aiming to stage the fight in May. Look at that. There we go. I love it. You just keep reading and you get to where you need to go to. January, February, March, April, May. So they're looking a little bit more toward a summer for this fight to happen. Who does this benefit more? Because I'm like, that's a long stretch of time, right? From when Lomachenko last fought, but even at the same time, it's long enough where it kind of makes it a long stretch of time for the last time Devin Haney fought. So it kind of is, it puts both of them at a kind of a disadvantage in my personal opinion. So the promotional company is aiming to stage the fight in May, which would theoretically deprive Haney a chance to have a proper training camp and make it harder for him to boil down to the lightweight limit of 135. You guys know it seemed like he was. That's interesting. So he would be coming just off of, he would. So they're trying to stage the fight in May. Ramadan for Haney is March 22nd to April 21st. So they're trying to make Devin Haney train through Ramadan. Bro, that's foul. They really trying to, that's foul. Now that's politics right there, man. I gotta stop. That's politics right there. That's crazy. You telling me they really trying to make this man fight through Ramadan? I know it's a sport, and for the most part, it's like, hey, yo, this is what it is. But you don't think that's planned? That's crazy. We are March 22nd to April 24th. 21st is Ramadan for Devin Haney. They're trying to stage the fight for May, early May. That's crazy. In his tweets, Haney also suggested multiple times that Top Rank was favoring Lomachenko. The Ukrainian has been with Top Rank his entire professional career, while Haney linked up with the established Las Vegas firm earlier this year as part of the package deal to get the right to fight George Kambosos Jr. for the undisputed lightweight championship. These people want to try to push my next fight with Loma to May, knowing the longer I stay at the weight, the harder it is to make. Let's do this shit in March, Haney wrote. I literally told Top Rank I want to fight before Ramadan, Haney wrote in another tweet. Top Rank declined to comment. In response to Twitter's user suggesting that he fight someone else, Haney suggested the issue at hand is the date, not the opponent, while hinting once more that Top Rank is trying to give Lomachenko a helping hand at his expense. It's not about the someone else. It's about giving me a date to fight. They want that boy Loma to have another shot, Haney wrote. Haney's coming off 2 consecutive dominant point wins over Kambosos. Haney won the rematch held at Rod Laver Arena in Melbourne as well. 34-year-old Lomachenko is coming off a harder than expected points win over Jermaine Ortiz in October at the Hulu Theater at Madison Square Garden. So, in my personal opinion, me just reading that, Bob Arum's doing Bob Arum things. You know what I'm saying? For the UK, Bob Arum things. He's setting it up. He's making moves. He's shifting the cards, and that's what it is. Bob Arum said, come on over here. I don't mind. I'm a stage. I got enough money to stage this fight for you to go over to George Kambosos and get those belts, and I promise you Lomachenko. Now, of course, I promise you Lomachenko, but I love him so much. You have to understand, just because I'm saying I want to give you the fight with Lomachenko doesn't mean I'm going to give you the best opportunity to fight Lomachenko. I'm not going to give you the best odds to fight Lomachenko. I'm like, Bob Arum's over here, he's taking a chance. He's like, oh, if Haney beats Kambosos and he becomes undisputed, and then Loma beats Haney, I'm back. That's what Bob Arum is betting on. That's all he has to bet on. That's what people don't realize. So if you do not think this fight in no possibility, in no way, cannot get scheduled, you feel me? If it cannot get scheduled for May, early May, let's say May 15th, May 10th, whatever the case may be, it could be May, it could be late May, it could be May 27th, right? They're basically telling David Haney, yo, I want you to train through Ramadan. Or basically like your last month, the last month in your training camp is going to be you going through Ramadan. Like that's what they finna. That's what Bob Arum is telling them, and that's what's gonna happen. That's the fact. So is Loma avoiding Devin Haney? No, he's not avoiding Devin Haney. He doesn't have to avoid Devin Haney because he say, "Hey, yo, Bob, you taking care of this, right?" Bob's like, "Man, don't ask me no questions that you already know the answer to." You know what I'm saying? Come on. But to be fair, there's 3 sides to every story. Right? There's 3 sides to every story every single time. That's how Haney feel about it. Let's pull up. Let's pull up how. Let's see what Loma got to say. Because Loma has his own words as well. Now, the thing that's interesting, though, like the most recent thing that you can really get when it comes to like Lomachenko's side, you feel me? Here we go. It's coming from Bob Arum, you know? And it's November 16th. So that's about a month ago. So they want the fight to happen, you know? So I'm like, Bob Arum remains confident that Devin Haney will defend his 4 lightweight title versus Vasily Lomachenko. So I'm like, of course you remain confident. You're the person that's supposed to make it right. My bad, y'all. I made this shit way too bright, huh? There y'all go. I ain't trying to have that shit too bright on y'all, man. This is bright on me. The teams for both boxers have let their promoter to believe Haney Lomachenko can be scheduled for both. Ramadan begins March 22nd. It's going to be before. So the teams for both boxers have led their promoter to believe Haney Lomachenko can be scheduled for. That was a mistypo on Boxing Scene. I'm telling you, I'm reading it word for word. That's what they put, man. It's supposed to be just before Ramadan begins March 22nd. Haney is a devout Muslim. Therefore, the 12-round bout between Haney of Henderson, Nevada, and Ukraine's Lomachenko must take place before the Muslim month for fasting, prayer, and reflection starts or after it ends April 21st. Loma wants that fight next. That's what Bob Arum said. He told BoxingScene.com this personally. Showed y'all the picture. You feel me? Igis Klima's Lomachenko's manager wants to fight next, and Bill Haney wants to do that fight. Arum also is confident that his company, Top Rank Inc., will have enough money available in his 2023 budget to televise Haney Lomachenko live on ESPN rather than making it a pay-per-view event. My hope is to do a few fights on pay-per-view as possible because I really believe that putting these fights on pay-per-view is not a wise thing to do. Now, other people might find difficulty in this. It's not a wise thing to do because people aren't buying the pay-per-views and it costs a lot of money to do it. Even if the fighters don't take guarantees, they hate you afterwards because they haven't made money. I think that's the problem Heyman is running into. The 90-year-old, damn. I be forget. That's damn. Bob Arum is 90 years old. Sheesh. And he's right. See, all y'all, it's crazy how people criticize Terrence Crawford for being with Bob Arum, but say nothing about that. Well, now y'all hate Devin Haney too. Y'all do. I don't be getting it. That seems smart because I'm like, pay-per-view is dead. It's crazy. Y'all be going, oh, they only sold this amount of pay-per-views. When's the last time any boxer sold a crazy pay-per-view number? Like that's what's crazy to me. I'm like, you talking about an established company that always run pay-per-views, and like it's hard for them to even break 200,000 now. I'm like, what is think about being in boxing? You like what is pay-per-view shares now? Like niggas in the UFC probably making more off their pay-per-view shares than boxing. Boxing gets more guaranteed, but shit, they pay-per-view numbers do way better than boxing. Anyways, the 90-year-old Bob Arum alluded to Premier Boxing champions Al Heyman having difficulty finalizing an agreement for the unbeaten welterweight champion Bob Arum previously promoted Terrence Crawford to face the undefeated unified 147er. Of course, Earl Spence. We've been talking about this at exhaustion. You already know about that. Both have publicly announced that they're willing to fight without guarantees and would have been paid strictly off percentage of the overall revenue from the event, primarily pay-per-view and ticket sales. You guys got to understand this. That's the problem. Nobody knows how good that fight that will sell. So if they do what 600, 700K, they'll be massively underpaid. Piracy has an adverse effect surely on pay-per-view, Arum said, but I think at least from what the cable companies and satellite providers tell us, that since the pandemic, people don't want crowds in their house. They don't want to do big parties with 25 or 30 people. Before the pandemic, people used to use the pay-per-view events to entertain, and if they had even 20 people in their house to watch the pay-per-view, they wouldn't think about pirating the signal because they wouldn't want to be embarrassed if it went down. So they were willing to put up the money for the pay-per-view, particularly, damn, Bob. Okay, he's calling out the racists. He said, particularly with the Hispanics, that's the way they entertain. And in many cases, they all pitched in for food and for the cost of the pay-per-view. That's a 90-year-old man right there that's talking. But since the pandemic, people are reluctant to have large numbers of people congregate in their homes, and that's what's really killed the business, because you can't think you can charge $70 for a guy who's sitting at home to watch it. That doesn't make any economic sense for anybody. Even if it's $80, it's nothing if you have 20 people. So until we figure out how you present these events, not on the traditional pay-per-view platform, but some other way, we're always going to fail. That's from old man Bob. That's interesting to me, man. I'm like, I feel like he's not necessarily wrong. I can't really argue with that point. I think that's a solid point to be 110. I'm like, the pay-per-view model is still out there, but I'm just like, in boxing, like who's really pulling in crazy pay-per-view numbers? Like for real. I'm like, let me look that up. I'm like, what was the biggest boxing pay-per-view last year? Or actually this year. So let me see. Or I should say the highest number of pay-per-view buys. It's not showing the right shit. I should just put pay-per-view buys 2024. That's gonna be 2022. God damn, I can't find it. All right, let's see. Pay-per-view boxing category. This is 2021, man. They ain't showing none of the right shit. I can't find no or nothing. Just here we go. By fight. Here we go. God damn. Why was that so hard? What? This ain't 2022? All right, I'm gonna get away from this because I know y'all like, man, what is he talking about? They kept on showing the highest grossing pay-per-views. I got 2021, but I'm like, that's not gonna do nothing. But anyways, y'all, I feel like that would be something easy that I could find. Like, it don't make no sense to me. I feel like if I'm looking for the highest pay-per-view buys in 2022, I guess because 2022 isn't over yet, that makes sense to an extent. But I'm still like, how can I not find that? We'll see. But last year was amazing for boxing pay-per-view buys because you had Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder, Alvarez, Caleb Plant. It was crazy. They ain't showing nobody, bro. Hey, since what time is it? Let me tell you, because I don't want to go crazy. I'm gonna throw the link in, man. You can hop in on the early side of the game. But yeah, anyways, my point is that I agree with Bob, man. I think Bob's onto something. He's saying, man, pay-per-view buys, pay-per-view in itself it's a dying sport. I'm like, this year, I'm like, the most buys this year. I'm like, I know it wasn't a high number. I'm trying to think, like, who would have probably did the most buys this year? Probably Javante. Most likely Javante, because since Javante versus Rolly, because I think they did like 250 or something like that. That was probably the highest pay-per-view buys this year. So I personally, like, in my personal opinion, I'm like, I agree with Bob Arum when he's saying, you know what I'm saying, hey, they have enough cash in the bank. If that's what they do, they have enough cash in the bank. They can make this a free fight, which he's always done. He hasn't believed in the pay-per-view model for a while. I respect it. Now, with that being said, even though I do respect it, I still have to say it's a very clever move for, you know what I'm saying, Bob Arum to be like, hey, yo, we're going to stage this fight right after Ramadan for Devin Haney. So I'm like, that's the setup. Whether or not that particular fight day is going to be end up being announced during that for May, I think it will. I'm confident that it will. I think that's the smartest thing to do because at the end of the day, I do think Bob Arum, I do think Top Rank. I think their goal is to keep the belt safe, to keep that belt, or at the not. And what I mean by the belt safe is obviously Lomachenko does not have the belt right now, but Haney is with Top Rank and has all the belts. You got to understand, it's going to be his last fight with Top Rank. After he fights Lomachenko or after he fights one more fight, he will be a free agent. So it will be in Bob Arum's best interest for Lomachenko to have all the advantages or all the chances at winning and beating Devin Haney and being able to become undisputed himself. And now Devin Haney is on the outside looking in. He's not even signed with Top Rank. And in order for Devin Haney to be able to even, obviously there's going to be a rematch in place, but for that rematch to go back, for that rematch to continue, most likely he'll have to sign at least a one-fight deal with Top Rank. So Bob Arum this ain't nothing that's a surprise. He's very slick. He's very slick. Old man Bob Arum, I like to say, man. When Bob really just cooking and saucing, I like to call him Old Man Bob. Because he really be out there doing some things, man. And people don't be noticing. Like him and Al Heyman, like Al Heyman do it in a different way. Bob's a lot more direct. But I gotta respect it though. So I want to say this. Really, when it comes down to it, when it comes down to Devin Haney, when it comes down to Lomachenko, you know, I think the fight is going to happen. I think most likely the fight is going to happen in May, even though there's, you know, both of the fighters have indicated and made it clear that they would be ready and able to go in March. And I think for, you know, in Bob Arum, Top Rank's eyes, they think it's in their best interest to put Devin Haney in a position, in a chokehold, in a box where, you know, he can't necessarily succeed. You know what I'm saying? We got Dub in the building. It's good with a Dub.
What up, fool? How you feeling, bro?
Chilling, man. You know what I'm saying? Relaxing. Yeah, I wasn't even thinking about talking boxing, but I was going to watch the movie Emancipation with Will Smith. But
I ain't seen that yet either. I ain't seen it yet.
Yeah, it's in theaters, but it's also streaming too. So I was going to watch that. But you know, I was like, man, I'm gonna talk a little boxing. I saw a couple of articles when I was scrolling through my phone. I was like, man, I'd rather do this. So yeah, I'm chilling, man, for the most part. How you feeling, Doug?
Nah, man, I just seen you live. I said, let me come over here and see what he's talking about, man.
Yeah,
come bother him for a second.
Yeah, we ain't gonna. I ain't gonna be live long tonight. You know what I'm saying? I just want to hop in, talk a little shit. You know what I'm saying, for the most part. But you know what I'm saying. My first topic that I was for the most part I was wrapping it up a little bit, but you know, I'd love to hear your opinions, especially since it's one of your favorite fighters, Devin Haney, Lomachenko. Devin Haney was saying he wanted to have the fight in March. There's every indication that Loma would be ready by March too, especially since his fight with Jermaine Ortiz was before Haney fought George Kambosos for the second time. And their team also said they would be ready by March, but it seems like everything is indicating and pointing to the fight happening in May, which means his last month of training will happen during Ramadan. So what's your thoughts on that?
Well, you know it. The fix is in. We know what it is. The fix is in. At the end of the day, at this current moment in time, for Top Rank, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's to their benefit for Devin to lose that fight. It's to their benefit. We know Bob. He want to control the belts. That's what it all come down to. Control of the belts. And yeah, like you said, Ramadan, we understand. And if you look at the fight with Kambosos last year, I think it happened in early June, Devin, he ended up, having to train through Ramadan. What happens in Ramadan for Muslims? They're fasting.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And so, I mean, there's no reason this fight shouldn't take place in February, March, because Devin fought in October, Loma fought in October. Damn it. How many months do you need off? How many do you need off to get ready for the fight?
They both said they ready, both camps.
So I don't know what this whole let's make the fight. And Devin came out and what did he say? They trying to fleece me, y'all. They trying to fleece me. Look what they trying to do. Look at it. And
this is the last fight on Devin Haney's. Yep. So
supposedly, I don't know. I don't know if that's true. I don't know if that's true.
Well, if say quote unquote he loses to Lomachenko, he's gonna have an automatic rematch clause. So technically, he'll have one more fight with Top Rank if that happens.
Is that true? But I don't know if that's true because Bob always tells you he don't like rematch clauses. Bob says
no, but it's you can look it up. It's mandatory. You have to have a rematch clause for the champion. If you're a champion in boxing, you got to have a rematch clause.
Is that true? I don't know if that's true. Maybe I don't think as a champion. I think it's negotiated. I don't think you have to have a rematch clause. I don't think so. I could be wrong, but if that's the case, we would have seen multiple champions exercise.
No, I was going to say almost positive WBCO. WBC, WBO.
Watch this.
And IBF.
Watch this, Flu. and this is why I would say I don't believe that. The reason being is because Gary Russell, he lost the WBC belt to Mark Masseo. He didn't get a rematch, and I know he wanted a rematch.
You know what?
So I don't know if that's true.
Andy Ruiz. You know what? I'm probably thinking MMA. I think I'm thinking UFC.
I'm just saying I don't know
where I get that from. I might be wrong. I that sounds wrong. Now I'm thinking about it because I'm like, wait, hold up. There's a lot of fighters should got a chance back at the belt. So yeah, you're right. It does have to be negotiated. I'm wrong. My bad, y'all.
Yeah, I think that had to be, but still, even if it really don't matter because I don't think Bob always say he don't believe in rematch clauses, and outside of only reason Kambosos was able to get one is because Lou DiBella more or less negotiated that rematch clause for him. I don't see a rematch happening, and I ain't gonna hold you. If I was Devin Brown, I'd be worried because even in the Ortiz fight, Jermaine Ortiz, I had Loma winning the fight, but I thought that was a much closer fight than what the judges scored it. You know what I'm saying? And so when you have those type of things going on in boxing, we understand that the envelope can get slid to a judge pretty quickly. We've seen what happened with Teofimo Lopez and Sandor Martin, excuse me. Although I'm not saying that Sandor Martin was robbed, what I am saying is some of those scorecards should not have been as far apart as they were. And so, hey,
let's be real though. My only problem with that particular fight, and why it's hard for me to say just complete robbery or get mad at whoever got chosen to win, is just like that fight was trash. So I don't care who wins that fight.
And I'm not calling robbery. I want to be clear. I'm not calling robbery. I'm not calling
that fight
robbery.
Was trash. I was like, man.
Yeah, I mean,
they claimed that win, but that was trash.
Teofimo Lopez, he can't cut the ring off. What you expect? You can't cut the ring off.
That's the worst part about it. See, that's the problem though with what I'm saying, these young guns coming right now up in boxing, man. Y'all mad athletic, but y'all forgetting the boxing science, especially when you at a smaller weight. Thanks. I'm like, it's a little different when you get a little bit bigger. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, you can utilize certain advantages. Like Dimitri Bivol, the way he boxes, technically, if he was a smaller fighter, he would get worked.
He'll get his ass whooped.
The way he boxes,
his size and length work just for him.
But exactly, when you get a little bit bigger, you can utilize that particular athleticism. That goes a long way. When you smaller though, when you in, you know what I'm saying, the 5'7", 5'8" category, I'm like Teofimo. Crazy. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I'm just saying. I'm honest. I'm like Teofimo, dog. I'm like that athleticism only goes so far, and you moved up in weight, bro. It's like people forget that he was knocking everybody out at 135. You went to 140, and niggas is just taking it on. Like, what?
But you ain't cracking at 40 like you was at 35, bro.
This is what makes me laugh about Bob. Bob literally said, "Yeah, I think Regis Prograis beats Teofimo, but Teofimo has a chance." I'm like, bro, that's your fighter. Like what?
Bob, hey, I will say, man, Bob old. You know, one
Bob
thing.
Don't give a shit.
Yeah, when my great grandma, I don't know, man. My great grandma got to be 80 something, man. Big one, she can say what the hell she want to. She say whatever she want to. Why? Cause she old. Can't nobody check her. She the big dog. You feel me? You can't check Bob. So Bob, he gonna say what the fuck he gonna say.
That shit was funny though. When I read that, I was like, dang. But if you want to be 100, I don't think he would have said that 2 years ago. If Teofimo was at the same weight, because Teofimo is a different animal, in my personal opinion, at the 135. If you want to be honest, when it comes to Teofimo, I think he made a wrong decision going up to 140. I think he got a little shook from that loss, and for some reason, he felt like he needed to move up in weight to try to revitalize his career. I was like, you should have stayed at 135.
Bro,
what was the reason? My bad.
I think Devin described it perfectly. Because even, and like you brought up rematches earlier, the rematch was there for you to fight Kambosos at 35, bro. You had that opportunity to avenge your loss. I think that would have gave you a better mind state. You know what I'm saying? If you would have avenged that loss. The thing is, man, bro, what I seen from Teo, bro, I thought Teo was the goods at one point in time, but when I'm watching him, it's not. And this is the thing. He doesn't work behind his jab at all. Mm-hmm. His defense is subpar. And then when he's in a fight with somebody who has a little, and mind you, think about Sandor Martin, his lateral movement versus fighters like Devin Haney, Shakur Stevenson.
Let's go 140. Josh Taylor, bruh.
Man, Josh Taylor
Josh
beat the dog
Taylor,
shit out of him right now.
bro.
He'll beat the dog shit out of Tio from what
I'll be
I
honest.
saw.
I actually think Regis Prograis versus Teofimo would be a close fight. I had to see that. The thing is, Regis Prograis is a natural 140, so I do think his power would end up catching Teofimo.
Man, Regis cracking way more than Tio is, bro. He cracking. So, Regis is cracking.
But I think the big thing is I think Teofimo felt like he would be a lot more comfortable at this particular weight when it's showing that it's like maybe you bit off this a little bit more than you chew. You gotta take a step back. I'm like, because he's still young, so it's like maybe go back down to 135, and maybe when that actual it's hard for you to make that weight, then think about moving up.
But he said they would. I mean, their whole point for losing the fight against Kambosos was it was too hard for him to make the weight. He almost killed himself making the weight. He was in the hospital. He had a hole in his esophagus. I mean,
but that was from an illness. He got an illness from cutting the weight. It wasn't necessarily from him cutting too much weight, but the same thing happened with Virgil Ortiz. Ortiz, well, not it was very similar.
Whatever
Ortiz didn't fight. Ortiz pulled out.
He needed to pull out.
I give respect. No, Ortiz fought. No, when Ortiz fought, when Teofimo Lopez fought George Kambosos, he had that illness.
Rhabdo, whatever it's called. I agree. We agreeing.
So I do respect. That's why I was like, I respect Teofimo. He got the surgery. It's just I feel like, I think we just seen this before. I think one of the rarities when it comes to somebody like a Devin Haney is when you look at his father. Like, I always respect boxers because they always have like it's one of the rare sports where you see a father-son combo duo where it's like it can actually be the person coaching the son in a sense, right? Like right there. But a lot of times in boxing, majority of the time, it never works out the way it should, right? To a certain extent. I think Haney is one of those rare situations. Well, I mean, long term, like when you look at majority of how it goes, it never works out in the sense it should. Haney's situation is a little bit different because I do believe his father, not only does he know the sport amazingly well, but he knows when to take a step back. Because if you guys don't remember, Haney brought in a new coach, and there was no problems, no beef, nothing. A lot of these other fights. So go ahead.
I was gonna say that the thing is, there's a difference between or let me say there's the difference between T.O. Senior and Bill Haney. The difference is Bill understands that. Hey, okay, yeah, and mind you, they brought multiple coaches in Devin's camp. Multiple individuals have worked with Devin. Whereas with Teofimo Lopez, Tio, he actually had been with what's buddy name? They fired his ass too after the Lomachenko win. After they beat Lomachenko, they fired his ass.
I can't think of his name. Talking about. Yep. But he was only with them for what? How many fights? Like what? 2, 1, 2?
Probably 3. I think it was 3 fights. But still, it was a short amount of time.
It wasn't long though. It definitely wasn't long.
And before him, they had a long-standing coach who had worked with them for who knows how long. You know what I'm saying? It seems like outside of those 2 guys, T.O. Senior haven't been willing to bring other guys into camp as far as coaching goes for T.O. And unfortunately, and I want to say one thing. I got to give T.O. Senior credit in this last fight because I was hard on him in the fight when T.O. was fighting Kambosos, when he was saying, hey, go out there and beat his ass, bro. Oh, you slipped. He wasn't giving actual instructions in the corner. I heard him giving instructions. Tio would come back to the corner and he'd be like, bro, that ain't what we talked about. Tio was able to repeat the instructions that they talked about, and he still didn't go out there and execute the game plan. And so I think that somebody else needs to be in the corner. The thing is even when your dad is, if you can't go execute his game plan, I don't know if I expect you to execute anybody's game plan, honestly. And
I don't even think that's the case. I think Teofimo is a lot better than what a lot of people think. I think the problem with this is, you touched on it. One, there's no trust when it comes to finding someone that's, the head coach, head trainer, someone who's going to be like, okay, this is what we're going to implement when it comes to, this is what we're going to do when we go into the ring. It's his pops. So, yeah, there's a level of respect where he respects it, but also there's going to be a disconnect as well, especially one when his pops never boxed himself at a high level or trained other high-level fighters. Also, just for the fact it's gonna be like, yo, this is my pops. Like I can blow him off sometimes. Like I ain't finna hear that. So one of the big things that I see when it comes to Teofimo Lopez that's a problem, and it's not him himself, it's his camp. They rely a little bit too much on his athleticism, how young he is. He's very athletic. He has power. You know what I'm saying? He's quick. Speak like it's amazing. But no one in there is necessarily making sure that he's taught just straight up the fundamentals of this is what you need to do. I'm like, the fact that Martin was able to, technically fight on his back foot, all fight, utilize his jab. He was able to catch him with, that quick little check hook when he was coming in. I'm like, those are rookie mistakes. There's no way that should be happening to him. You talking about him fighting some of the top upper echelons of that division. If he's getting caught with, by Martin, I'm saying Martin, I think that's the correct way. Then I can only imagine if you fight Taylor, Prograis. Shit, y'all can talk all your shit you want about Adrian Broner, but no, I'm playing.
No,
But
this the thing is
by the way, Adrian Broner back at 140. Hated ass nigga. Go ahead.
Yeah, fighting Ivan Redcash. Wow. Anyway,
shit.
Don't get me started on AB. Please don't get me. I ain't going there tonight. I'm not going there, Flu.
Y'all be hating on AB. That shit be
I'm
crazy.
not. He fight Ivan Redcash.
What's wrong with that? He wants to fight Regis Prograis after.
All right. Yeah. He get in the ring with Regis. Regis gonna beat the dog. Man, let me just say this. I'm gonna
Regis Prograis' prime doesn't even touch his AB's prime. You ain't a real boxing fan if you think otherwise. AB's prime. What AB did at 140 is way better than Regis Prograis.
You're talking about prime. I'm talking about
that's
now.
what I'm saying. I'm just saying, don't disrespect AB.
Now.
That's crazy.
I'm talking about now.
Regis Prograis wish he had a career like AB. Shit.
Go ahead. Show your love. Go show your love to him.
I'm being 100. Look. The AB. I said they want.
I'm
like, don't act like AB is he's a Hall of Famer, bro. Regis Prograis is not a Hall of Famer right now.
I'm not disagreeing with none of that. What I am saying is if Regis and AB get in the ring right now, AB getting stopped. He getting his ass knocked the fuck out.
When's the last time he got knocked out?
Oh my God. All right. Let's move forward. There are certain fighters.
Answer that.
I can't talk to you about certain fighters, bro.
Because answer that. When's the last time AB got knocked out?
You got a bias about you for certain fighters. I understand it.
I do. I acknowledge that. But I'm like, you gotta give me the facts. I don't remember AB ever getting knocked out, bro.
What the Okay,
so he got knocked down. He ain't never got knocked out. Just like I don't ever remember him missing weight. Javante missed more weight than AB ever did. So how is he undisciplined? All y'all narratives on AB is wrong. AB is a Hall of Famer. I know. I'm just talking to the gym.
Hey, that nigga, bro. But at the same time, all I'm saying is first off, for the Ivan Redcash fight, I hope AB made weight, bro. Have you seen AB?
I saw him. I don't know why he wore a white t-shirt. I was like, why didn't you wear black, bruh?
Oh, yeah, man. Look a little slim, bro. Try to slim down.
I was like, why didn't you wear all black, bro? Like, that nigga is.
Look,
I like, man, AB weight to lose. But
AB weight 190 right now, bro.
But he's never missed weight, though. I give it, like, we got.
I didn't say he did.
So I'm like, if he's going to do it, if he got paid, look, if AB gets paid, he going to show up.
Yeah, he can show up. But if he had a fat camp, hell, he should beat Ivan Redcash, but regardless, he should.
That's how I feel. I'm like, he should beat him.
He should. But if he got a whole man, AB should be in shape right now. The man complained in damn near September that they had been pushing this shit back. He was tired of working out of shit, and now all of a sudden you look like this, bro. Was you gonna make weight against before you had the mental illness issue? And I'm not saying he didn't have that. I'm just saying before that, was he gonna make weight against what's buddy name that he was gonna fight?
I think it was Figueroa.
Yeah, Figueroa. No, yeah. Omar Figueroa.
Yeah.
Was you gonna make weight then?
So I have a theory actually on that. I think so. Broner's been saying for a minute, like, yo, I need money. Al Heyman, he gives me my money in payments. Like, I need cash. I need to fight. I've been wanting to fight for some reason. They don't want to give me a fight, right? So finally, the guys come in here. Omar Figueroa, this is you. You want this fight? Get the fight. AB's like, I'm taking the fight. I'm not in shape. I'm not ready for it, but I'm taking the fight because I need the money, right? Now during the promotion, all this, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, he gets a random email from an agent, whatever it is. Hey, yo, there's an investor. They're saying BLK Prime streaming service. This is what they offering you for 3 fights. And he be like, is this real? I think it is. Yo, verify everything's real and get back to me. Week later goes by. Hey, yo, AB, this is real. This is my theory. I'm not disrespecting nobody with mental health. I still think he's probably struggling with something, but he keeps looking at his phone. All right, he comes up. Yo, I'm backing out of I'm backing out of the fight. Now all of a sudden, hey, I'm signing a 3-fight deal worth, what was it, like 10 mil, 15 mil, whatever the case, whatever, 8 mil, 3 mil. It was a lot of money. Most money he made in the last 2 years.
I think it's a 3-fight deal for $9 million for those 3 fights. $9 million.
Something like that. So I'm like, all of a sudden he's announcing that, and it's like, here we are. So it's like, me personally, I like that's what I think happened. I'm like, there may have been some mental health involved, but I think even with Bud, like I you know what I'm saying, I got mad respect for Bud. It's funny because a lot of people come at me and they think I'm a fanboy of Bud. It's like, I'm like, Bud's not even in my top 5 when I name my top 5 fighters that I love. Like my top 5 favorite fighters, Bud is not in there. So it's funny that people think I'm a fanboy of Bud. I'm not. Bud is not my favorite fighter.
You be acting like it sometimes.
That's what's crazy. Is like I'm not. I'm just being 100 when it comes to. That's how I look at it. Because I always got to look at it from a different aspect when it comes like the business side. I just can't help but do it.
Well, everybody say I'm a Bud hater, so and I love Bud. I love him. I just disagree with some of the things he done did. And with any fighter, if I disagree with what you're doing, hey, I got the right, regardless of how I feel about you in the ring. I'm just gonna tell the truth about the shit. It is what it is.
I respect that. So I'm like, when it comes to AB, I'm like, a lot of people, you know what I'm saying, they have their perception how they feel about AB. That's fine. I'm like, AB is one of my favorite fighters. So him taking his BLK Prime deal, obviously February 18th. You feel me? He's gonna be fighting Red Cash. Obviously, the co-main event dub. I think we actually talked about this a while ago. The co-main event is Tevin Farmer versus Mickey Bay. Tevin Farmer is another one of my favorite fighters as well. That fight was supposed to happen earlier this year, but it didn't get funded.
That bullshit. Don't even start on. Don't even. That shit was horrible.
They didn't even pay the money. No, hey, but let's say this too. Everyone wants to talk about Regis Prograis. Everyone wants to talk about BLK Prime, Terrence Crawford. He didn't get paid his money. And that's how you know Terrence Crawford is actually like,
I don't know if that's true. I don't know if that's true at all.
But can we say this? Terrence Crawford, the hate he gets, he's a big deal because why do so many people care about whether or not Terrence Crawford, the BLK Prime pay-per-views, because Regis Prograis, he fought over in Fight TV, and he said he cashed his check and it bounced. And he said it publicly.
Facts. And nobody made videos about that, bro. Nobody.
Bruh.
Nobody made
I don't hear
videos
Terrence
about
like. So that's what's interesting. Terrence said he got paid up front $5 million. Then he got the 1.3 guaranteed. We don't know what the pay-per-view numbers. I have 100 million people going, not 100 million, but I got a lot of people, or okay amount of people saying, the pay-per-view only did this. It's not a success. How do you know what they perceived as success? You don't know what their numbers were. You don't know who invested in this, and you don't know what their rate or what they're trying to receive back. You can't say this. Like, you can't say, okay, Showtime, Gervonta Davis versus Issa Cruz. Like, you know, Gervonta Davis versus Issa Cruz, that did a lot of people reported 50,000 pay-per-view buys,
which is quote unquote horrible in pay-per-view buys if that's true. I don't know if it's. I don't know. Go ahead.
We don't know. No one knows if it's true because they haven't released those numbers.
I don't know.
So I'm just saying, I'm just like, all this shit. I'm like, y'all gotta understand. I'm like, this internet shit. I'm like, it's changing. It's like, it's not. We can't judge things off of if it's sold out. It does make a big difference, but it was sold out. They said they exceeded expectations, so that means they probably got more pay-per-view buys than they expected. So I'm like, just because everybody else thinks, you have to have this amount for it to be successful, that's not how this is. It works no more. I'm like, this world is changing quickly. I'm like, revenue and the way it's perceived is very differently now. Very differently. And it changed probably every fucking year.
Damn, excuse me. Agreed 100%. And I ain't gonna hold you. You know, I done heard all type of stuff about them numbers, and I'm saying like, unfortunately, I'm the guy who I could care less. Two things I really could care less about. I don't care how many pay-per-views it did, and I don't care how much anybody got paid. What I worry about, nigga, I want to see the fight, because none of that other stuff ain't got nothing to do with me. What got something to do with me, something that I can talk about and be accurate about, is what happened in the ring. And that's what I get excited for. You feel me? And so all that, you know, I understand what people are talking about, understand where they're coming from. But at the same time, I don't want to hear none of that shit, man. Respectfully.
No, I can respect that for real. But I'm like, even when it comes to the Terrence Crawford, Earl Spence situation, I think it is interesting. A lot of people do not, and I don't want to, because I hate. I was like, we already talked about it, and I do want to go into the next side because like we talked about Lomachenko, Haney, talked about Teofimo, Prograis, but I wait real quick. Actually, I'm switching the whole thing, but I'm not switching. We stay on. What is your final thoughts, Dub? Because I'm not trying to make this late, because I'm like, even though it's the weekend, which I'm very happy about. Close to it.
It ain't Thursday. It ain't the weekend.
I know. It's close. Hey, when I was a kid, bro. When I was in high school, I remember I used to be like, when it hit Thursday, I'd be like, nigga, sorry, the weekend. So I would never count. I like Friday. You know what I'm saying? It was weird. Like I would count.
Friday was part of the weekend.
Yeah.
Friday was part of the weekend.
Yeah.
I understand it.
Yeah.
And when I was in college, bro, when I was in college, what I used to do. So I would like my first, your freshman year, you don't really understand what's going on. Then you start to understand, man. I would make sure my classes, and I start taking. I would take like how they had them block classes. It count for 3 credits that semester, but it's 1 day a week. The problem is it's 3 hours when you go or something. Oh yeah, I was good for those classes, and then Monday through Wednesday. Man, no morning classes. My classes would start at 12 and they would end at like 7. And then after I got out of class, we would start drinking and we go party, man. Anyway,
I know. I'm like, man, you gonna give me on a whole different. I'm like, we gotta see. We just gotta do a regular, like just.
Yeah, we gotta chop it up one night, man. We gotta chop it up,
for real, bro.
Yeah.
But okay, all right. This is why what I do want to ask you. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not gonna go super late tonight.
Cool.
But we're gonna be back definitely tomorrow for another good time. But when it comes to Regis Prograis, when it comes to Teofimo, I do think this is an interesting topic because I'm going to speak a little bit more about this and go into the last topic, which just so happens, even though I have them in the middle, but the last topic is going to be about Jermell Charlo. But before we get there, I do want to get your last thoughts on when it comes to Prograis and Teofimo. If Teofimo does so happen, because Teofimo did actually come out with a statement.
And he want to fight. He want to fight Regis. Oh, go ahead. My bad.
No, you're completely right. Like I'm like I like that I don't have to go into the articles or nothing like that. But I'm I see Prograis, but I think Teofimo could beat him. But it's like, so supposedly Teofimo is saying I want to fight Regis Prograis. He's saying he wants to fight Josh Taylor. I think I'm thinking missing one other person that he said he wants to fight. He said Pollo. Excuse me. So those are the 3 he said he wants to fight because he wants to become undisputed. I don't know if that's cap. Obviously, he knows
he want to be 2 times undisputed. 2 times undisputed.
2 times undisputed. So, what is your thought before we move on and finish on the last topic when it comes to Jermell Charlo? What is your thoughts on that? What are your thoughts on Teofimo saying, I do want to fight these guys that are calling me out. I want to fight Regis Prograis, Joshua Taylor, how you say it? Pollo. You also want to fight Pollo. Like, how do you feel about that? He wants to come undisputed. Not only undisputed, but 2 times. What's your thoughts on that?
So first things first, I like that he calling for the big names. I like that. We want to see fighters. And regardless, we want to see fighters. That's what we expect from them. We want to see them fight the big names. My problem is at 40 right now, any of them dudes that he calling for, I'm not sure you really want that smoke, bro. I'm saying you may want the smoke, but I don't know if you can win those fights, bro. Respectfully to Tio. I don't know if he can beat Josh Taylor. I don't know if he can beat Regis. I don't know if he can beat Pollo. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, if you go look at Pollo fight against Akmadal, I always say the dude name wrong. I think it's Akmadalamov or some shit. If you go look at that fight, bro, that was a tough fight. That was a hell of a fight. And Pollo, he got the victory. But, I mean, both of those fights, I think both of them would beat Tio. And I don't know. The other thing, when Tio calling himself undisputed at 35, in my opinion, I don't think he was ever undisputed. That's my opinion. I know we can argue about that, but I don't think Tio has ever been undisputed. So there is no two-time undisputed for him. And when he get up and he start rocking with them guys, if you're gonna sit there and say, do I still have it? It seemed like he got a confidence problem. It seemed like the only person who believes in Tio is Tio Sr. It don't seem like Tio Jr. believes in himself. And hey, you get up there with that mentality against those big name fighters that you calling for, shit. Boy, all right. People want to shit on Josh Taylor for the fight against Jack Catterall. I thought Jack Catterall won that fight, but at the same time. But at the same time, bro, man, Josh Taylor can fight, bro. He can fight. But Jack Catterall can fight. So go ahead.
But real quick, I didn't want to interrupt you, but I just want to say just real quick on that.
Did you hear everything I said? No.
Okay, go ahead.
You missed the majority of what I said. All right, go ahead. Finish. No, I'm not going. I have to start over.
I just wanted to say real quick. I'm like in that particular fact. The only reason why I kind of started to change my mind on the Josh Taylor Jack Catterall fight. Yes, I do believe Jack Catterall won, but we always say it's like when you go into, you know what I'm saying,
you got to beat the champion. You got to beat him.
So go ahead. That's all I want to say. Go ahead.
And I actually thought that Josh Catterall, I thought he won the fight, but he pulled off. He laid off the gas late in the fight. You can't do that. Same thing Regis did. I didn't know. It looked like Regis was gassed in the fight, but he did the same thing.
That fight made me mad. I remember that. Yeah, that fight.
But
that was close. That was more of an upset than the Jack Catterall fight. People don't want to talk about that.
But this is the thing.
Used to it.
I watched that fight, right? I watched that fight. Then I watched it live. Then I went back and rewatched the fight. When I watched it live, I had Regis winning the fight. When I went back and watched it the second time, I gave the fight to Josh Taylor. I gave it to Josh Taylor, bro, because you could tell and it seemed like Regis, he felt like he had the fight won. Not sure exactly what he was thinking. Same thing with Jack Catterall, but nah. In those later rounds, bro, you got to push forward, especially against the champion. You got to push forward, and those should be some of your more active rounds, in my opinion. But it is what it is, you know. I just don't think. Like I was bringing up, did you see the Pollo fight when Pollo became a champion? He fought Akhmadov or Akhma, whatever the dude name is.
Yes,
I can't. Yeah. I think Akhmadov, or I can't say his last name. I think he'll beat the shit out of Tio, bro. He can fight. And a lot of these guys
don't disrespect Teofimo now.
I'm not disrespecting him. I'm not saying he's bad.
Sandor Martin isn't a bad fighter either.
I'm not saying Sandor Martin can't fight.
Martin.
The man was 40-1. He and then the fight he just upset last year. What's buddy name he upset? Oh God.
I know who it is. I know
he just had that upset. Then he came into this fight. And I mean, he's a smart fighter.
Luis Garcia versus Gervonta Davis.
That's a tough fight. That's a tough fight for
Gervonta.
Y'all
was coming at me last night. I was telling you, I was like, last night y'all was coming at me, and I was like, how are y'all gonna say that being a free agent doesn't matter? And all of a sudden now you have Gervonta Davis. He's fighting Hector Luis Garcia. He wants to fight Ragnar. Supposedly,
I never said it didn't matter though. I didn't say it didn't matter.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, man. Hey, Flu, you be put anyway. So all I'm saying is with Tio at least, man. That's bro. Even what's his name? Sabril Matias. However you say his last name.
I know you're talking about him. I ain't gonna butcher his name more than you is. So I'm gonna let you have that.
And I will butcher names. That's what I do. So, but man, he'll be bro.
There'll be no spoilers. No, don't say nothing, man. I'm watching that this weekend. Chill. Go ahead, Doug. My bad.
Man, that dude, he would put hands. Man, Matisse, whatever his last name is, he'll put hands on Tio, bro.
Let me ask you
hands
this.
on Tio.
So
he will put
I'm
hands
still
on
a
that
fan.
man.
Look, I'm still a fan of Teofimo. I think me
I
personally,
like
because
Tio.
I don't like because I do because I got some things I do want to ask you because I'm like
Okay.
now I'm like okay I guess, but I'm a fan of Teofimo. Like I applaud him because even though he lost to George Kambosos, he beat the guy that everybody said would never lose. He beat the guy that everybody said would, even though he's lost before. Yeah, he has.
He already lost. Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
Dub.
I know.
That's how we feel.
Right.
But you knew the narrative around Lomachenko and Teofimo fought him.
Agreed.
Maybe 100%. To us, that's how we feel. But the ultimate narrative was like Teofimo. He's a knockout artist, but he ain't finna. The fact that
he ain't finna beat that dude right there.
Exactly.
He's not finna beat that dude.
Exactly. So the fact that he did that, I have the ultimate respect for him. He fought George Kambosos. He did lose. But at the end of the day, what he went through to fight him, I won't take that away from him. And that's why I'm always going to have a lot of respect for Teofimo, because people want to say that George Kambosos changed Teofimo. No, what he went through during that time changed him. He had a sickness that he could have died from. After that, he ended up having wrist surgery. It's going to take him a long time.
He had the situation with his wife. He had the situation. That's a young situation with Triller, where Triller kept pushing the fight back. It was
talk about it, Dub. I forgot about Triller. That's why people don't believe in BLK Prime. It's like, nigga, this is another Triller. We've seen this already.
This is the thing with Tio. I understand, but at the same time, me understanding don't mean that I don't think something has been lost. And I think all of that, bro. And even with him having having the belts that he had and saying that he was undisputed. Let me ask, do you think he was undisputed?
Teofimo or Loma?
Teofimo.
No, I don't think he was.
No, me either. And so having just everything that Tio done went through, especially at such a young age, in the prime of your career, when you really starting to get it moving, and you just done won one of the big, not even one of the biggest fight of your life. You just went with, you beat Lomachenko when niggas was saying that Lomachenko was on the pound for pound list, bro. And it ain't like he wasn't low on the pound for pound list. Lomachenko was looked at as a top 5 pound for pound fighter in the world. And you did all of this. Hold on, let me say this, and then I want you. You did all of that, and then to be going through the things that you're going through in your life, I felt like, and to take the loss against George Kambosos, I feel like it took something from him, and I don't know if he can get it back. I don't know.
Dub, let me even add this to what you were saying. Not only during that time was Teofimo at a certain, he was looked at. When he fought Lomachenko, he was looked at as a rising star, a rising prospect, but he was put in front of Lomachenko, similar to what they're trying to do to Devin Haney right now, as, oh yeah, you got a lot behind you, we're putting a lot behind you, but we're just trying to elevate who we already have, just because Bob Arum loves Lomachenko so much. And the fact that Teofimo did that, he was the first to do that. So even if Devin Haney beats Lomachenko, this is what a lot of people aren't talking about. Even if Devin Haney beats Lomachenko, it's going to be impressive. You have to give him his props. But regardless, Teofimo did it first. Like the Ray J song, I hit it first. I know it's petty.
Yeah, go ahead.
I know it's petty, but for us to try and take away what Teofimo's done, and I think that's the most unfortunate part to his career is, I don't mind his pops being in his corner, but the fact that he did not utilize his, financial and popularity capabilities to bring on maybe a trainer that can also add on to that camp. I think that's the biggest problem. But yeah,
when you say, even though I want to understand, what are we taking from Teofimo Lopez? What are we taking from him?
I think Teofimo Lopez is an amazing fighter. I think he's an amazing boxer.
I agree.
I think he has amazing defense. But I think.
Yeah, amazing defense.
His defense is phenomenal.
He has one of the brokest shoulder rolls in the sport of boxing. The shoulder roll that he hold on. The shoulder roll that he implements is broken. Hence the reason he get hit with so many straights over that shoulder, because the shit is broke, bro. He has a broken shoulder roll.
When did he start heavily relying on the shoulder roll?
Probably the Loma fight. Probably the Loma fight. I'm just saying. That's when I really remember, because even and this is the thing.
I agree with you. You're right.
I was gonna say with Nakatani and Kome,
he didn't utilize the shoulder roll as much.
He didn't have to though. He didn't have to.
But also you have to understand the shoulder roll can be effective against someone who's shorter opponents, or someone who's at the same length. If someone's taller than you, the shoulder roll seems a lot more dangerous. Right. But what I'm saying, he got a lot more careful. He started utilizing it more.
But Loma ain't longer than him. Loma not longer than him.
Exactly. But
and it looked broke in that fight.
That's my. But my also to add on to that. Remember this. What did I say my biggest criticism was? He did not bring in anybody to correct things that needed to be corrected and that were probably emphasized and was probably, celebrated. It's like, yo, keep doing it. You know what I'm saying? But not even realize. That's the biggest thing that we're talking about, where it's like, okay, that worked in this fight, but that's not going to work in this fight.
It's not going to work against anybody.
That's why everyone who criticizes Ryan Garcia, be careful when he fights Gervonta Davis. Because he did that. He did it even more to an extent than Gervonta. Gervonta's older. Gervonta's around my age, and he's decided to break away from Floyd.
Who did what? Ryan Garcia did what?
Ryan Garcia was training with Canelo in Canelo's camp. Everyone loved him, and he left that camp for something that helped him and benefited him more.
Facts. All facts. And
remember that.
And the camp that he's in now, I have seen. I can literally tell you.
Talk about it, dog.
I see.
There ain't no bullshit camp. Joe Goosen is a legend. Man, you don't know who he is. You don't watch boxing. You don't know who. You don't know what boxing is.
You don't know shit about boxing if you don't know
who Joe Goosen is. Fucking. I'm sorry.
But this is the thing. Even I can say, you've seen fighters. They like Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua brought in Garcia, right? I didn't see the aggressiveness that I was expecting to see from Anthony Joshua that Robert Garcia usually teaches.
But how old is one? Like,
hold on. Let me just say.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
And not because I don't want to talk about them, because we've been went to a whole nother topic.
Yeah, it's good. Okay, we go.
we be all over the place. But the thing is when I saw Ryan Garcia after the first camp with Joe Goosen, right? I was able to notice how the man wasn't standing nearly as flat-footed. The man, he was at least attempting to keep his chin out the air. He was using the jab. The straight right was much better. The head movement was better.
Crazy.
There were so many things when I saw him fight. I was like, shit, that was a good ass move, because I can see the progression. I can see him getting better. You know what I mean? And so at the end of the day, all I'm saying is that if you're gonna use a coach, I need to see progression from you fight to fight. I'm seeing that from Ryan. We haven't seen that from Teo. You know what I'm saying? And it could be possibly because he has his father in his corner.
I was about to say though, but Ryan Garcia's dad's been prevalent in his life. Like he's like, I'm not gonna be your trainer. But exactly. Ryan Garcia's dad was his trainer in the beginning. I know. I don't know like that. I honestly didn't know who Ryan Garcia is. I'm from where you from, nigga. I never seen you around ever. I was around everywhere. It's not a big player. I'm around everywhere, but nigga, you made it. But so I'm gonna support you to, you know what I'm saying, forever.
I like Ryan. I like Ryan Garcia. So
I don't care.
I like all these fighters.
Everybody who disrespects Ryan Garcia is a hater, because I'm like, he went and he joined forces, or he put himself in a position where he had kind of all the eyes on him, all the cameras on him with Canelo.
Mm-hmm.
And he ended up leaving the situation because it wasn't best for him, and everyone sees him as the bad guy. He goes and I'm gonna go with Joe Goosen, and people are that's a terrible move, and they don't even know who Joe Goosen is. It's like,
Who
I'm like,
sees
look,
him as the bad guy though? I don't think nobody see Ryan as the bad guy.
Look it up. Just look at the comments whenever a Ryan Garcia video is posted. Just look
Well,
at it. People
most
do
people who
not like
comment
Ryan
on
Garcia,
but
bro.
most people who comment, they don't know shit about boxing. So I can't
That's a
take
fact, but I'm just,
that
but
just
you know, a
because
lot
they
of
don't
people
know.
do
I
not
can't
like
take
Ryan
that.
Garcia, bro.
I don't have to like a fighter to give credit where credit is due, even though I do like Ryan.
But that's rare though.
Like
That's
somebody
rare.
to
I'm
give
like
credit.
most boxing fans don't feel that way. Most boxing, like what I've
Agreed.
learned, it's like if you have a boxing favorite, that's all you focus on. You ain't paying attention to no other boxer. You don't care what's going on, and it's like it's interesting. It's weird. It's almost like even though like when I look at UFC, when I look at MMA, when I look at Bellator, like I'm at one championship, when I look at these different organizations where they have a multitude of fighters, they're all under one promotion, right? They're all fighting for one belt, and it's like some people say like, oh, the top level guys are not making nowhere near what the top level guys in boxing is, but they're taken care of better, and they're also looked at and respected better because being under one promotion, you have this like the fans watching. They gotta
fight.
Boom, they gotta fight, and they think they always gotta fight, even though it may not be the most. Even though it's like if I grab someone from another promotion, they might be better, but because it's under one promotion and this is happening and there's rankings. And we've seen these guys fight, and they tried to be these two guys fight to be the number one ranked contender, to be the number 2 ranked contender, etc. We gotta respect them. Right. And I'm like, that's the problem with boxing is they haven't figured that out yet. So it almost seems as if sometimes
it's not that they haven't figured it out. The problem is boxing is the wild, wild west. You got too many motherfuckers out there.
Fair enough.
Boxing because it's such an old sport. And you've got so many hands in it that you can't wrangle this shit up like you really need to see the best fight the best on a regular basis. You can't do it, and so it is what it is. But man, no, I agree with everything you're saying. I agree with everything you're saying as far as most of these motherfuckers who are commenting on Ryan Garcia, Teofimo Lopez. Me and you will sit here and talk about Teo. We hadn't disrespected the man at all. What we've done, we talked about what we've seen in the ring. That's it. You know what we think is going on outside the ring, but we've shown no disrespect to Teofimo Lopez, and we're not gonna get on here and disrespect boxers like that. What we gonna do? We gonna talk the sport, and it's funny. I don't know if you remember the first time I ever jumped on with you. You know what you said? You was like, man, I don't know if this nigga know boxing or not, man. Hey. What you think about Demetrius Andrade? I'm like, hold on, bro. Hold on. How we get on that? I was like, how we get on that? And then we chopped it up about it. Right? And then he was like, okay. All right, bro, good. You know what I'm saying? We done been cool. But the thing is I can get on here with you and we can touch 8, 9 different topics in boxing and keep it boxing. We ain't disrespect it. We just didn't talk the sport. A lot of people cannot do that. They don't really love the sport of boxing. What they love are certain fighters. They love fighters, and because they love fighters, they will get on the channel and just to talk about one fighter. I know this for a fact. 2 topics that I hate talking about now. I hate talking about 2 topics in boxing. I don't want to talk about Errol Spence versus Bud Crawford no more. I don't want to talk about Gervonta Davis versus Devin Haney no more. I don't want to talk about neither one of them.
That's never finna happen. Look, I don't even know if Gervonta versus Ryan Garcia is gonna happen.
Exactly. Let me ask you this, and this is what I'm about to. This is a prime example. Watch this. Frank Martin versus Michelle Riviera is
that's crazy because I wanted to ask you about that before I went into Jermell. No, that's perfect. Go ahead, keep going. It's crazy because I wanted to ask you about it. I'm like, how do you feel? I'm like, that's a fire fight,
bro. I think that with what I would call, I think both of them are contenders. Okay, if you want to say one of them was a prospect, that's fine because he ain't got enough fights, whatever. But both of them.
No, actually, if you want to be real, if you want to be Martin's a contender, Rivera is a prospect. How many fights doesn't matter. It's who you fight. Martin's a lot older. Martin's a lot older than Rivera.
Michelle Rivera. This man, have you seen who he done fought in his 21 fights? The man took 6 soft touches to start his career, and then he been fighting. I ain't gonna say just
I
the
agree.
toughest competition, but he been fighting really good competition moving up.
I agree.
And
But Martin is different. Martin is
So,
a grown man. He's
let's
a
talk
grown
about this.
man who
Let's
knows
talk
how to
about
box.
this fight,
He
Flu.
ain't
So,
fought not one grown man who knows how to box, and that's Martin.
so
I'm not saying that Martin's gonna win. I'm just
who
saying.
you picking? I will
I'm
go
just saying.
first. I'll go first if you want me to.
You can't. But real quick, I just want to say this. I just always think it's the same thing where if Gervonta Davis versus Ryan Garcia happens, I would feel the same way. Where it's like Gervonta Davis, he's coming in his grown man strength. Ryan Garcia ain't there yet.
Too. Ryan
No, he's
Garcia
not.
is 25.
Ryan Garcia 24.
24.
He 24
Hey, man.
going on 25. Your grown man strength in
When you get
athleticism, if you take care of your body, is 28, 29.
Damn. Okay. I'm not mad at that. I can't. I'm not disagreeing.
So I'm like that's why I always give the benefit of the doubt. I'm like, I agree. There is you're taking a risk, Frank Martin, but it's like you start the sport later. So it's like I don't look at you as a prospect. You can't be a prospect. You're too old.
He can't.
You have to be the guy that's gonna make something happen.
He ain't seasoned like that.
Rivera is his risk is much higher than Frank Martin's because Rivera is younger. Rivera could do 2 more years of fighting dudes that we don't know about.
He got more to lose.
Exactly.
Agreed.
Martin needs to make some shit happen. So this would be great on Martin's record if he was able to be someone like Rivera, even though we don't know how good he is yet.
Yeah, we don't. I mean, I'm excited about that fight. I think this is one of the best fights we can see. Oh, you damn right, I'm watching. So I think it's one of the best fights of the year that we've gotten. I think it's a true, what I would call a 50-50 fight. And I hear a lot of people in boxing circles I'm talking in, they got Frank Martin winning this fight easy. And I'm sitting here like, well, y'all don't know shit about Michelle Rivera, because that man can fight. And this is I brought this up. Go check it out. I talked about this.
Hey, do they know Rivera is Cuban?
Is he Cuban? I don't think he's Cuban. Is he Cuban? I don't know what he is. I could be wrong. He might be Cuban. I don't know. I don't know what he is. Look that up. But real quick, I just want to say he might be Cuban or he Puerto Rican. No, he might be Cuban. Let me see. Shit.
I'm looking it up right now.
But I just want to say this. One thing I'm looking forward to seeing. One thing about Michelle Rivera, he's gonna have the size and
He's
the length.
Cuban. He was born in. Oh wait, no, that's not the right person.
He was. Yeah.
I'm like, that nigga was born in 1960.
Wait a minute.
That's not the right person.
But now, so I want to hear this first, and then we'll talk about. We'll get to it in a second. I want to hear what this.
I'm trying to find. Okay, I suppose his name wrong. That's right.
Man, let me find this shit, man. This nigga here tripping, man. You tripping. Michelle,
I got it. Oh, he's Dominican.
Dominican Republic.
Yeah, I got it right for you, nigga.
How you?
Dominican, nigga.
Nigga been looking for 30 minutes.
I was close. I was close to the motherfucker, man. I was close.
But this is the thing. That's and on my brother KO, I was on his panel earlier tonight, and we were talking about. Well, we talked briefly about this fight. And guess what he said about me? He said, "Man, you love a motherfucker who got a good jab, don't you?" You damn right I do. You damn right I do. What's the most important punch in boxing?
The jab,
damn jab. You set everything up off of it. And Michelle Rivera got a hell of a jab. He gonna have a size advantage.
Frank Martin does too.
Hold on, but that's the thing. You
can't be an Errol Spence fan and not be a Frank Martin fan. Ain't no way you can say that Errol Spence is gonna beat. You can't say Errol Spence is gonna beat Terrence Bud and then say Rivera is gonna beat Frank Martin.
I can say whatever the hell. Well, I can tell you whatever I believe. That's all I can do.
All right,
but I picked Frank Martin to win the fight. I did pick Frank, but I think it's gonna be razor thin margin. And the only reason I'm giving Frank Martin the advantage in the fight because he's gonna have to make hell of adjustments in this fight. And Derek James, in my opinion, should be a trainer of the year, in my opinion. And he does a hell of a job of giving his fighters the adjustments that's necessary to make. And so listen, let me finish. Come on. Listen, Flu. You know what they tell you, Flu?
I'm not trying to rush you. My bad. Go ahead.
You cannot listen to somebody and be ready. You got to listen before you can be ready to respond. Let me just finish. I think that Derrick James will give him the adjustments to make. If he can follow his corner's directions, I think he'll win the fight. But at the end of the day, I think it's going to be a tough-ass fight for him, razor-thin margin, and I could see Frank Martin losing this fight to Michelle Rivera because that's how good I think Michelle Rivera is.
So I can see that too. I respect. The only reason I was saying that because like, you're talking about Derrick James, I was like, oh, we got to get to the last topic with Jermell Charlo. So, but wait, right before I asked that, I want to say, Derby said it's better than the first film in story and acting, but being unique like its predecessor, it's not the best part of this film. It's the same amount of world building, also far more visual spectacle than the first film. You're not ready. So
What is he talking about?
Avatar 2. I'm gonna go see that.
I'm excited for that. I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm seeing that. I think I'm gonna try and see that Sunday, most likely, or Monday. My birthday's Tuesday. I'm about to be an old nigga very soon. So I'm about to go see.
Salute to my brother. Happy birthday, bro. How
early happy birthday. I'm not an old nigga yet.
I'm old.
Like,
nigga,
you hit a certain age. It's like, nigga, it's not a happy birthday anymore. Just say birthday, nigga.
How you is, nigga?
I don't want to talk about. I'm 29, nigga.
Oh, you young. Oh, you good. You good. Oh, you young.
I'm becoming old, nigga.
Bro, I'm 34, yeah. So I'm over the hill. I'm over the hill.
But see, you're like, there's a certain point. It's like, it's not happy birthday no more, nigga. Just say birthday.
I don't even celebrate my birthday no more.
Hey, birthday, nigga. Birthday is like, nigga, it's not no happy, nigga. I'm getting older. I'm dying.
Yeah, look. I don't even want you to tell me happy birthday.
Nigga, the same age as last year, nigga. I ain't aged none, nigga.
Hey, pour a drink, man. Let's keep moving, man. Let's keep moving. Pour a drink. Let's do it.
But okay, all right. Last real quick subject. I don't want to be long on this because I don't want to be late tonight. But we're gonna go crazy Friday night. Friday night we're going crazy, and then Saturday night, Fluence Lounge, Frank Martin, we're gonna go wild with it. But last little topic, we're gonna keep it short, maybe like 10, 15 minutes, whatever the case may be. But Jermell Charlo, he's felt like he's been disrespected. He's felt like nobody gives him the credit he deserves. Obviously, Jermell Charlo is going to be fighting Tim Tszyu coming in January. A lot of people didn't expect that actually to be happening, but it's taking place and it's happening. And that's why I just, I appreciate Jermell Charlo for his time being in his particular weight division. He's one of the few guys, like in comparison to his brother. I remember, man, when we used to talk about the Charlo twins, they used to generate a lot of money, used to try and do a lot of creative things with them. But Jermell Charlo was always the guys a lot of people would talk about. It's very interesting to see now. Jermell Charlo is really the person who has the better legacy, but it's very interesting to see he's still not getting the publicity he deserves. So he's fighting Tim Tszyu. This is an amazing fight. Any thoughts on that, Dub, right side?
Well, first things first.
Let's talk about it in here as well. So let's talk about it, bro.
Let's put the respect on Big Charlo name.
No, he doesn't deserve any respect. He ain't there.
No. What? You're not listening to what I'm saying. Because male Charlo is Big Charlo. He the Big Charlo in the family because he the one who going out there, and this man has cleaned the division out.
Talk about it.
You tell me somebody else who cleaning divisions out like this man cleaned it. He
retired Tony Harrison. Y'all don't know boxing, but he retired Tony Harrison.
And Tony Harrison, I ain't gonna hold you. In the fights that he
was one of my favorite fighters.
Man, I love Tony Harrison. As far as boxing goes, the man is a savant. If he had a little more power and a little better chin, he beating the shit out of everybody.
Hey, you know what's even crazy? I would actually dispute that and say he didn't even need that. If he just when he got to the point where he knew he was winning and he didn't feel like he had to actually, tell his opponent he's winning, he would be that better. But it's bro, he would. Why you gotta hit the 6-7 round and be like,
he from Detroit. I'm
winning, nigga. What's up? It's like, nigga, that's why you lost. Like, what the fuck, Tony? Like, you can't be doing that shit, bro.
What you expect from the brother? What you expect from him? He from Detroit, bro.
So I love that nigga though, man. One of the best boxers. He's gonna be even a better trainer, man. That's a fact.
Well, we see what he doing with Alicia Baumgartner already. So, man,
fact.
The man is a savant in the sport of boxing. And in my opinion, respectfully, of course, to Big Charlo, I thought Big Charlo was losing both of them fights. Until
he lost to Matt Korobov. He didn't beat Matt Korobov.
Hey, but when he put that hand on his chin, you feel me? That was the saving grace for him in the fight with Tony Harrison. But at the end of the day, man, and matter of fact, Tony Harrison beat him the first fight. So what am I talking? Tony Harrison beat his ass the first fight, and then he
But-
he was losing the second
Oh, my
fight.
bad. I got a little confused. But yeah, like when you said Big Charles, I was thinking about his older brother. I was thinking about Jermell,
No.
But look, yes, Tony Harrison may have beat him, but the thing about Jermell is why I respect him so much, and I do believe he does get disrespected. And the reason why people don't respect him is because of things like that. Those particular situations, Brian Castano would draw, but he came back and he rematched.
Hold on. Say that
him
one more
out.
time.
It don't
Say
go
it
to
one
no
more
decision.
time.
He rematches him. It don't go to no decision. He knocks him out. And I'm like, Jermell is one of the few champions, period, in boxing of everything we've seen who's willing to do that.
Put some respect on that man's name.
The only person behind him, and people gonna hate me saying this, that's willing to do that. Y'all gonna hate me. What do you think I'm gonna say, Dub?
The only say it again.
That's willing if they took a L and they want to take a rematch and they're trying to get the belts back. Who do you think I'm gonna say?
Right now, they took a L, and now they're going back. They want a rematch to get the belts back.
Yo. Who do you think I'm talking about? Let's talk about it.
What's good? What you say?
What's up, bro?
I'm like, who you think I'm talking about when I say if they took an L?
Oh, if they took an L, if they did,
they lost their belts. No, they did take an L. They lost their belts, and then they're willing to take a rematch to try and get them back.
What will I say to that?
No. Right now,
who do you think it is?
Right now,
in the last 3 years.
3 years.
Oh,
other than Jermell Charlo.
Other than Jermell Charlo, lost their belt and went and got it back.
Yo.
I don't know. I couldn't really tell you.
I knew it. No one was gonna be able to cut. It's AJ. It's Anthony Joshua.
Oh, boo.
Am I wrong?
No. That's true. AJ always going back for the smoke.
That's the only person.
If he lose, he going back for the smoke. I give you credit. But the problem is he got his ass beat twice.
But you have to give him the credit where he was willing to go back and he was going to try and get it back.
Listen,
I give him
try and get it back.
I give him that.
Yeah, I give him. He has heart, but he's still a bum. Like if I get beat up by somebody the next day, I was told to go
not
back.
A bum. Let's talk about it. That's crazy. AJ is not a bum, bro. Come on.
Bum.
I ain't talking about AJ, bro. We talking about we talking about Big Charlo right now, bro.
You call him Big Charlo.
I call him Big Mel.
Me, nigga.
Mel.
Well, no, respectfully Jermell too.
I call him Big
Respectfully
Charlo.
to Jermell.
You know why he don't get his respect?
Ain't no respectfully to Maul. Ain't no respect to Maul, Charlo, because this nigga ain't
You know why Charlo gets the respect that he deserves?
Let me know. Let's talk about it.
He doesn't promote himself well. Only time you hear about Charlo is when he's having a fight. When you hear about these other boxers are still in the camera, still at fight hype, talking about different things, the fights they want to have or come up. Only time you hear about Charlo is when he's about to have a fight. And that's why he's not going to get the respect that he deserves. Because this is the entertainment field, and he doesn't entertain anybody other when he's in the ring.
Let's talk about it. You don't be watching. Jermell is more entertaining than Jamal. He's the one. I'm a knockout. He called out everybody. He said that nigga went on live with Jamal and he was talking about his bitch look better than his. Like Jermell is a problem, bro.
Listen,
that nigga is wild.
As boxing fan, that's cool. That's cool to talk about my bitch look better than yours. But I want to hear about let's make this fight. I know you talk about
that's your brother. Like, come on, like how you gonna talk to your brother about your wife saying your bit like that? That's crazy.
I mean, that's entertainment, but that's your brother. I don't know if it was planned or not. I don't know if you
know. Jamel is a wild card. That nigga Jamel crazy, bro. That nigga Jamel, like that nigga crazy. Like
how long ago? And that was about 6 months ago that happened.
Like a year, like 6 months, a year, something like that.
Right. And then when the last time you heard of him?
Shit. Like I'm a fan. Like
when he stopped Brian Castano. When he stopped Brian Castano.
Like that was this year.
No. He just came out. Wait a minute. He just came out not too long ago trying to put Bud in his place when Bud was talking about fighting him.
Jamel and Bud been going back and forth.
Yeah.
Like Jamel
because you know why? Bud initiated that.
Jamal ain't fought since last year.
Man, yeah, hey man, that's why I say, man, he Lil Charlo. At the end of the day, Mel Charlo is the individual doing what, as far as boxing fans go, this is what we want to see. What this
Like,
brother is doing.
why we disrespecting Jermell? Like we've been
I'm not.
disrespecting
I'm putting
Jermell.
all
No,
the
no, I
respect
know
on
you
that
not,
brother.
Dub, but I'm just like, I'm like in totality, like the boxing community been disrespecting Jermell since he's been kind of put like, I like Jamal's more, he's cool, he don't really say much. Like Jermell, he kind of be a firecracker. But I'm like, Jermell has shown like he's taking L's. Yeah, he's gotten a draw, but he came right back in and he got that dub.
And I respect him even more for it.
He about to fight Tim Tszyu. If anybody thinks Tim Tszyu is an easy work, then y'all don't like boxing because you don't know who Tim Tszyu is.
You didn't see what he did to Terrell Goucher. You didn't see what he did to Terrell Goucher, bro.
I will say, Charlo, he fights all the tough fighters. He want all the smoke. He don't back down from nobody. So I can say that.
Jamal don't.
But just because of him wanting to smoke, I'll look at it like this. If everybody had that mentality, that I want to smoke mentality, man, we would see all the fights we want to see. But so when we have an individual, especially somebody who took an L and a draw, right?
And came
back and is undisputed right now. This man deserves so much credit what he did because
he's not even on the pound for pound list.
Hold on, but this is the problem. This is the reason I love it so much because what he showed is that damn it, I don't have to protect the O. You feel me? I can go get the smoke. And even if somebody bests me, damn it, run it back. Let's run it back. Yep. And if we run it back, nigga, I got you.
Unless it was really better. Yep.
And man, come on, man. I got to give all the credit to that brother because so many people are trying to protect that.
But Dub, let's talk about my point is Jamal is looked at still in a higher esteem because his O ain't got to go. He still got that O.
Yeah, that's
like
why
people look at Jermell and they're like,
most people don't know shit about boxing.
You got to draw.
They don't know shit about boxing, bro. They have no clue about the sport of boxing. None.
You're not really that good. How'd you lose to somebody? You're supposed to be the greatest, or we're supposed to put you at a high esteem. We're supposed to put you at that. Like Tim Tszyu. Tim Tszyu is younger. He's in his prime. If you know who his dad is, what his dad has accomplished. Like I remember when this fight got announced when it comes to Tim Tszyu and Jermell Charlo. I was like, is this fight going to happen? Because why did it get announced so far in between? Like both of these fighters haven't fought in almost like 3 months. For Tim Tszyu is longer, and his fights happen in January, whatever the case may be. I think it's 18th or something like that. So I'm like, what is the benefit for this fight to be happening, and we don't have no fight happening in between? This is also why I'm very skeptical of Gervonta Davis versus Ryan Garcia happening because they're both having fights happening in between. I really think if you have a big profile fight happening, you're not going to have a fight in between that can possibly jeopardize it from taking place.
It ain't like Tank. It ain't like Tank taking a soft touch.
Exactly.
For anybody who don't know,
for
anybody who don't know who Hector Luis Garcia is, go watch the Chris Colbert fight. Go watch the Robert.
That's what I was about to say.
Go watch.
Colbert was supposed to be the next big thing. Colbert was supposed to be the most.
Go watch this man put hands and feet on their ass and. Hey, watch Chris Colbert run his ass around the ring, scared to fight, knowing that he losing the damn fight. Nah. And this is the other thing. I know Tank is used to fighting fighters that are taller than him. Hector Luis Garcia ain't that much. I mean, he ain't gonna be the tallest fighter, but man, the punching power that brother showed, bro, this is a tough ass fight for Tank. I think Tank gonna win, of course, but at the same time, for him to take that fight before. Or as a soft touch or a tune-up for the Ryan Garcia fight, man, they show you what type of time Tank on right now. And I've been very critical. I've been very critical of Tank Davis because he ain't been fighting the fights I want to see him fight. So if I'm gonna be critical and then you make these type of moves, I got to give you the credit. And so shouts out to Tank Davis. And once again, mind you, I think I ride with Devin, and I think Devin will beat him. You feel me? But man, shout out to Tank because you making the moves. You making boss moves. You said you was gonna do it. I shitted on you for a second because I was like, you ain't doing that shit, but you doing it now. So I'll take the L and tell you, Tank Davis, you doing the man. Shout out to Tank, bro. Much credit, much support, and I ain't got nothing negative to say about the brother because he fighting, and that's all I've ever asked from the brother.
No, this is a tough fight for him, and this is not no walk in the park. I can tell you that. I can definitely tell you that.
Neither one.
Right.
Either Garcia, Hector Luis, or Ryan Garcia. Both of them can fight, and shit.
Exactly.
Hey, I think Tank gonna wreck their ass. I ain't gonna lie. I think he stopped both of them. In my opinion. But the
only thing scary with Tank is that every fight that he fighting, that fight bigger opponents, he be losing in the fight on a scorecard. To me, I'm a Tank fan.
Yeah, he lose rounds. Tank will lose rounds, but
and he be down. It be like he be down like in the 6th round, he still be down, and then he has to turn it up.
That's why I got Devin beating him because Tank loses rounds, and
but I don't think Devin Haney been hit like that by Tank. I don't think he's. No, I think he's been touched, but I don't think he's been really touched.
Ain't nobody been hit by unless you've been hit by Deontay Wilder. A nigga ain't hit you like Tank gonna hit your ass, bro. It ain't gonna happen.
Gervonta don't hit nearly like Deontay. Don't disrespect it. But let me say this real quick.
I'm saying pound for pound.
Okay, respectfully, but I'm like, if y'all gonna be talking about Gervonta Davis versus Devin Haney, I'm like, if Gervonta Davis versus Ron Garcia is supposed to happen, do you think Gervonta Davis is gonna be able to knock out Ron Garcia like that? You think Ron Garcia is gonna be able to take that part?
I actually just said that.
I forgot, Flu. We had a nerve when we talking about Ron Garcia. My bad. We said rip both of them. You hit a nerve when you said he's gonna rip Ryan Garcia. I'm gonna let you
I
take
ain't got no problem. I'll be 100 with it. Yeah, definitely.
I give Ryan his credit. I give him his credrit. And
Ryan Garcia got more power than Gervonta Davis. How about that?
Stop the cap.
And he faster.
Stop the cap.
All right. This is what
Ryan Garcia ain't even at his peak yet.
Hey Goose, this is what I would say. If Ryan Garcia get touched like the board touched him in his last fight, and like all his other previous fight, if he gets touched like that, it's lights out for him.
Nah, don't forget, you talking about Luke Campbell. That's the only time he got dropped.
I said, and his face getting touched.
He ain't never got touched. No other fight.
When you say touch. When he's saying he just saying he get hit clean.
I mean clean shot.
He never got hit clean in no other fight than the Luke Campbell fight.
Stop, Flu.
I'm not gonna talk to you right now. You capping now. You capping.
I'm not capping. That's a fact.
That's not a fact.
Like, look, you want to talk about boots from Philly? All right, like Ryan Garcia from where I'm from, Victorville.
Wait.
Ryan Garcia is like he never been. He's undefeated. He got power. Yeah, that shit crazy. I'm like, the way y'all disrespect Ryan Garcia is younger than Gervonta Davis, man. Like, come on, chill.
Wait, Flu. This is the problem. This is the problem, Flu. Flu, this is the problem.
Be consistent.
I done sat up here with you tonight, and I gave Ryan. I told you the progression that I done seen from this man. Did I not? Have we not had that conversation?
And he got big as hell.
Have we not? I'm had
like, he's 140. He's fighting at 140. He can fight at 135. I'm like, the way y'all capping for this man. I'm like, Gervonta Davis want to catch weight. Let's see if Gervonta Davis really make this fight happen. He's gonna be the one running from it.
Who is capping?
Whoa! You sound like Skip Bayless right now. You sound like Skip talking about he gonna be running from it. He gonna try to make the
70-year-old white man. He gonna be running. That's a fact. That's a fact, bro.
How's that effect ain't even happened yet? That's how you know it's cap.
Ain't no cap to 100, bro.
Hold up. How's the fact and it didn't even happen yet, and he has a fight still to do? And you talking about this a fact? No, it's cap.
They both got to fight. Look.
Exactly.
Gervonta Davis has a fight lined up for January. They both got a warm-up fight. Both Gervonta Davis and Ryan Garcia. Oscar De La Hoya came out and said we agreed to all their terms. We made sure they had everything that they wanted. This also can come into effect. That's why it's like boxing fans, they don't want to read nothing other than what the YouTubers are telling them. I'm like, there's articles that y'all can read, but I understand reading ain't really. I used to read. Anyways, it's like
it's fundamental.
It's fundamental, bro, because I'm like, y'all can really see the information for yourself. I'm like, it's coming out when it comes to the Ryan Garcia and the Gervonta Davis deal. Golden Boy Promotions, they succumb to everything. Whatever you need, we're going to agree to. If you want to just go ahead and take all the pay-per-view numbers, you can get it. If you want to air it just on yours, you can get it. All we're asking for is that you allow us to also air it on the Zone and Sky Sports. But if you want to go ahead and take the revenue for that, you can take it. That's what all we're trying to do. If it's that hard to deal with them, think about how hard it is to be a free agent with Terrence Crawford to try and make a deal.
Exactly.
That's all I'll be talking about. And it's
No,
like,
but that's not hard to make a deal.
So
man, please do not take this to Bud Crawford.
I'm not. I don't want to go into Bud Crawford.
Man.
What I'm saying, just to finish this. No, I'm not gonna go in there. I just to finish this. I'm like, when it comes to Ryan Garcia, is like if Ryan Garcia is so scared to fight Gervonta Davis,
ain't nobody say he was scared. You say Gervonta Davis is scared to fight Ryan Garcia. Nobody say Ryan Garcia is scared.
If Ryan Garcia, if he has no chance, or if this is something like he's reaching for the stars, whatever the case may be,
no one said that either.
On phonics, whatever the case it is. Why has Ryan Garcia been the one saying on multiple occasions for almost a year and a half now, I want to fight Gervonta Davis? He says on the Mike Tyson podcast.
Negative about Ryan, bro. We're not.
Right, no one said
crazy.
You
crazy if you think people ain't saying shit negative about Ryan Garcia.
I'm talking about in this conversation right here, in the conversation we having, the points that you are making are irrelevant because everybody you talking to ain't saying that stuff. I understand.
That's crazy.
You want to talk to some other folks about that. Hey, when they come and you want to, y'all have that conversation.
Davis fan,
and
I am a Gervonta Davis fan.
Both of y'all is.
Yes.
So I was like, how you saying I'm not talking to nobody?
But no, what I'm saying is Ryan Garcia is a legit boxer that has capabilities of beating Tank Davis. That's what I'm saying. But do I think he's going to beat Tank Davis? Not at all.
Okay.
If he gets hit like he got hit in his last fight, or gets hit in his previous fights that gets hits clean, he's going to be on the canvas.
So real quick, Doug, do you agree with any of that?
My bad. I had it on mute. My bad. Look, like I said,
let's talk about that. He said if Ryan Garcia gets hit the way he got hit in his last fight, in his previous fight by Gervonta Davis, he's hitting the canvas. Do you agree with that?
Yes.
So both of y'all is not Ryan Garcia. Y'all say Gervonta Davis is most likely going to beat Ryan Garcia.
I'm not saying I'm saying he is going to beat Ryan Garcia.
And what about you, Dub?
I'm not saying I'm saying it's a good fight. I'm picking what
it's a good fight, but he's going to beat Ryan Garcia.
I'm picking Tank to win, just like I'm picking EJ to beat Bud. It's the same. That's how I pick it. But at the same time, regardless of the outcome, I don't care. I want to see the fight. You feel me? That's what I want to see. And so I can make a judgment, but it is what it is. Go ahead.
Hey, Goose, I'll give you a little example. If Ryan Garcia was fighting Hector Garcia, I would say that Ryan Garcia would beat him easily.
Facts.
Yeah, Garcia would you.
Facts.
Hey, let's be 100. Gervonta Davis for Hector Luis Garcia will most likely be a closer fight than if Ryan Garcia fought him. Ryan Garcia would probably knock him out in the second fight. He would get knocked out with a left hook.
I agree with that because you know why? He's going to get up more. I'm going to tell you why. Anytime you're fighting someone that's a draw and that somebody is iconic in the boxing game right now, I'm just talking about right now in his era, of course, I'm going to get up more for that fight. I'm going to train harder for that fight. Not saying they're not training harder, but it's like you playing the number one team in basketball. If you playing the number one team in football, it's a different type of atmosphere is going to be around. Different type of mojo is going to happen. Yes, I agree with you. It's a better fight. Yes, I agree.
I think that Ryan wins, like you said. I think Ryan beats Hector Luis Garcia easier than Tank does.
Yeah,
I do.
It's a better matchup.
I agree with that. And so, but at the same time, I still think that Tank will beat Ryan as well. So,
I think I'm going to be 100%. Like, I'll never go against Ryan Garcia because he's where I'm from. But I do think the only advantage.
If you can't go against him, you can't be objective. You're not being objective then.
You're right, and I agree with that.
I agree with you. Hey, good. And I understand every point you make, and I understand where you come from. That's how I feel about Boots. Like, whoever he's fighting, I'm rocking with him, whether it's whoever it is. Whether he has a chance or not, I'm still gonna rock with him and talk my shit.
And I'm the same thing with Devin. I'm the same way with Devin.
So it's like I'm not gonna be objective when it comes to, but at the same time, I gotta call out certain things where it's like if Ryan Garcia fights Gervonta Davis too soon, it's gonna be a closer fight than it should be. Ryan Garcia will still win, but it's gonna be a closer fight than it should be. But if Ryan Garcia waits a couple years, lets grown man strength, you know what I'm saying? Pop in and let Gervonta Davis wither away a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Because Gervonta Davis, he's at his peak. In 2 years, like Gervonta Davis, my age. So we had to say, in 2 years, nigga, you ain't gonna be able to compete with these 26-year-olds, nigga, who's been doing this shit for a long time.
Let me explain something to you.
2 years. That's all it takes. That's how shit that's how quick that shit.
I love when people say they don't have their power or their grown man strength yet. Yes, they do. They do have their grown man strength. At 24 and 25 and 23, you can get people out of there. I know Floyd Mayweather didn't he? When he was at that age.
You gonna hate me? Let's talk about
Hagley
it.
did. I can name several boxers when they was 23 and 24, getting people out of there.
And this is why I feel like I'll be the best coach in the world, because I'm like, you're absolutely right. But there's a very, 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 very wide difference in having it and knowing how to, and understanding.
Say that it's different. It's different. But don't say they don't have the power in them out. They don't know how to. Maybe they don't know how to throw it, or maybe they just don't have
Let's
power.
talk about it. Even if they have it at 24, it's all. If you're with the right person and the person who's educating you, you might have it at 24. You're gonna know how to use it at 28, and it's gonna be increased also at 28. That's the difference. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, you have to be in the perfect. I'm not saying shit is. I'm not saying shit is sweet. I'm not saying everything's fair. I understand how shit goes. I'm like, shit don't work in the aspect of, oh, this nigga's this good, or this person's this good, or this is what the case is, and it's always gonna end up being this way. I know that's not what it is, but I'm like, in the perfect scenario, like I'm at the age, you're at the age, we all at the age where it's like, in the perfect scenario, if shit works right, you should be here. And this is what I have your projection at. This is just, it's part of the game. That's why you making millions.
What about Mike Tyson? He was young. He was getting cats out of there. His power didn't. His power.
Mike Tyson. Everybody talks about Mike Tyson. I'm not a Mike Tyson guy. I'm a Roy Jones Jr. guy.
I can go Evander Holyfield.
Me and Mike
I'm not
Tyson
an
got the
Evander
same birth.
Holyfield guy. I said Mike Tyson, Evander Holyfield. All y'all wish y'all was Roy Jones Jr. Roy Jones Jr. is the best in that division. Ain't nobody on
the same birthday, so you can't disrespect Mike.
But I'm not disrespecting him.
Okay.
I'm just saying Roy Jones Jr. is the best. I'm like, if you want to look
at
how Roy Jones Jr. is that nigga.
No, I'm just saying as far as a young person who has the power, and you
none of them niggas could do what Roy did. Roy put his hands. Right, Roy acted like he was playing, nigga.
And I agree.
Roy Jones Jr. is the best in the world, nigga. No one's better than Roy.
You're proving my point. You're proving my point. And
I didn't even watch Roy. I didn't even watch Roy. I watched his highlights. That's how much I love Roy. I'm like, Roy is like, nigga, he's gonna be KD in the future. In my personal opinion.
You didn't get to see Roy fight?
I know I didn't. I'm a little bit. I'm old, but I ain't. Like I said, I'm old to some. I'm young to others. I didn't get to see Roy fight.
Did you see Tyson fight? Okay. All right. Well, I ain't that old, but damn, I'm only 34, but I seen all of that. Damn. What is that? 5 years? I'm 5 years older, right?
Yeah.
Well, damn. 6 years technically. I ain't turned 29 yet, nigga.
Yeah, okay.
So, yeah, so right. you ain't see. Yo, I see the tail end of Mike. Yo, Mike was. If you see Mike, it's crazy.
No, Mike's crazy. I've watched Mike. I've done my research. Mike is crazy, but he's just not Roy to me. I'm like, Roy to me is like. Roy is Michael. Like LeBron James is like y'all see this here. I got this shit 04. 05. I'm not gonna cap. 05. Like LeBron's the greatest ever. When I watch Michael Jordan shit, I'm like, Bron could do all that shit. So Bron's the greatest ever to me. When I watch Roy Jones shit and I watch Mike Tyson's a beast. I'm like, nigga, you ain't Roy.
But see, because you don't know shit about basketball, you think LeBron is the greatest.
I do know shit about basketball. I played basketball my whole life. I had 2 D1 offers. I know about basketball.
Listen.
That's my original sport, nigga.
If you know about basketball, one thing you know is that mental toughness plays a huge role in the sport.
Mental toughness plays a huge sport in every sport.
And hence the reason Jordan was much more mentally tough than LeBron is. But crazy, let's not go to that.
But look,
keep it going. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
I can respect that. I didn't watch Michael Jordan. I watched LeBron's mind. Like that's my.
See, everything is different when you're watching in real time. than when you
Yeah.
already watching it on highlights and stuff like that. When you actually watching in real time, it's amazing. It's amazing.
This be crazy, man. I
Facts.
really,
Facts.
I respect Dub. Like Dub, you know, like that's why I love Dub here because I'm like, I really be wanting people to come, but it really shows you how fast time flies. It's like niggas could argue about shit that's not even happening right now. Like we should be arguing about, you know what I'm saying? What you know what I'm saying? So it'd be wild, like how fast time flies, and it's like we'll be so invested about shit that's already happened, and it's like, okay, I just gotta watch this shit. The fact that you can watch this shit and pull this shit up, it's like, man, Tom, you gotta appreciate it, man. We're going into 2023. It's the holidays. Like I said, I was supposed to. I wanted to get some Christmas lights and shit, so everybody knew.
I see.
I ain't do it. I'm just like, man, Tom be flying, so like it be going by. So I'm like, man, y'all appreciate it, man, for real.
Hey, can I ask? I want to ask you a question, bro.
Dub, you know,
no.
Before we get up out of here,
go ahead.
It's Thursday, 12:38. Damn, I'm back on the 1 but it's not that late. It's a little bit earlier than usual. And we're gonna go crazy this weekend, and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna go live for the Frank Martin Rivera fight. But go ahead, Dub. Last question. Go ahead, hit it.
Man, only reason I'm asking, my brother. Let's talk about it. Respect to you, bro. You know who you sound like to me?
Go ahead.
Niggas sound like Tevin Farmer to me, bro. Tevin.
You know what's crazy is I don't mind that just because Tevin Farmer is one of my favorite fighters.
No, and that's what I was because he sound like I want to ask you. I'm picking you know who I'm picking in the fight.
Yeah, it should
I'm picking
be
Mickey Bay, bro. I'm picking Mickey Bay.
Oh my God, you're so
Yeah,
disrespectful.
I'm picking Mick, man. I like Mickey Bay. I'm a huge. I've always been a huge Mickey Bay fan. So, but
he's gonna get stopped in the 10th round. I'll tell you that right now.
Man, neither one of them niggas stopping each other. There will be no stoppage. There will be no power in that fight. What are we talking about?
Keep disrespecting Tevin Farmer. You're gonna be surprised.
On,
let's talk about it. You got anything you want to say before we get up out of here?
Nah, just follow my page. Love you guys. Just have
let's talk about it. Hey, drop your link, bro. Drop your link so I can follow you, bro.
Hey man, for both of y'all, let's talk about it, Dub. Like, bro, I'm like, it's been a minute. I'm like, but we're gonna be back. Like, we're gonna be live, Fluence Lounge. Like, you know, Zen gonna be up in here for Saturday night, Friday. I don't know what I'm gonna be on Friday night, but Saturday we're gonna be on all that type of shit. So make sure, man, y'all gotta come through, man, for the Fluence Lounge. Y'all be coming through for the Fluence Lounge. Like, come on, man.
Man, I'm just getting back on the tube.
We'll be lit. I know, y'all.
I gotta get back right.
Like, come through, man. Y'all gonna be watching the fight anyways. I know it. Y'all gonna be watching the fucking videos anyways. You might as well hop in. You don't gotta be here for the whole time. Just hop in real quick.
No, I got you. I'm gonna pop in on you.
Hey, that nigga John Morant is a monster, bro.
Respect. Yeah, I know. I'm in Memphis right now. Niggas shooting going great. But salute to the people, man. Appreciate everybody. You know what I'm saying? Dub, appreciate you. Let's talk about it. Appreciate you. We're gonna get up out of here for the night and enjoy the rest of the night. Enjoy your weekend, man. We're gonna be back tomorrow for real. And then definitely we're gonna be back for Fluence on Saturday. Much love to the people. And we out of here, man. Blessings. Let's talk about it. Appreciate you, bro.